Hey and welcome back to my channel. This episode I will be creating Olive Spector's house. So I think this build will be a bit controversial in that it doesn't look anything like Olive Spector's house from The Sims 2. But I was kind of going for a more Strangerville like story style. And as well, if you download my save and you really hate it, I'm sure there's people in the gallery who have created houses that look a lot more similar. But I decided in my save that I wanted it to kind of still have the Strangerville house style vibes. I was kind of going that the outside looks like this nice normal house, but it's like down in the basement that it's a wee bit creepy, and I've still kept the cemetery. So my idea was that Olive is kind of like the mortuary, like the morgue, how do you say it? The morgue, where they keep the dead bodies. She's sort of in charge of that, so all the graveyards in the front yard, that's not that big of the issue to people, but it's, you know, what she keeps down in the basement that is a bit more frightening that people don't know about. So I kind of wanted that roof to look like a witch's hat. I don't know why, but I wanted to kind of hint that maybe she's not all that she seems. I'm not making her a witch, but that's sort of the storyline that I wanted to go with. I do delete that weird bit of fence. It just wasn't working. But yeah, that's what I was going for. So it's just like a subtle hint that she's not all that she seems. Like, you know, she's someone to look out for. But I wanted her house to look like a normal house. Like, just a house you would pass by and be like, oh, okay. Like, nothing too stand outish. So, like, the goths, I wanted their house to stand out. Like, I wanted that, you know, dark, spooky house weirdly in the middle of the town. Because I feel like that's what they want. They're not really bad people. They're not like, you know, they just like that gothic style. Where with Olive, I feel like she would want to keep it a bit more under wraps. She would want to keep it a bit more secret. So in my this Olive, I originally was gonna have Nervous still living with her. So there is a bedroom. I was gonna make him a toddler living with her, but then I worked out his age wouldn't match the storyline. He should technically be a teenager. So I've moved him somewhere else. So I've kept his room though in a toddler style, because on Sims Wiki it says that he was taken away as a toddler. So I wanted to kind of show that she was caring for him in his room, and she's still kind of stuck in that, you know, she's still kind of stuck. She wanted to keep the room the way that it was left. So I still did try and give like the house a darker style, like with the darker foundation and darker windows, but I really didn't want the house to stick out like a sore thumb. Like, I know in Strangetown there wasn't really a house style. Pretty much every house in Strangetown looked different, and hers had that sort of concrete creepy vibes. But I feel like Strangerville does have a house style, so I kind of wanted to play along with how I envision the houses to be in that area. I don't really know what style of house they are meant to replicate. Probably somewhere in the US. I'm pretty sure everything's based on the USA for The Sims, but I wouldn't know the name or where it's meant to be like stylized from. But I kind of felt like they had this sort of patio bricky wooden style. So yeah, that's what I was kind of going for. And I will put the graves, I used fake graves, but I will put the husband that she got Spector from, I can't figure his first name. I know they like all the names in the cemetery, like death names, like Rick and Mortis and stuff like that. I was thinking of creating The Sims and having all those gravestones in the cemetery, but with The Sims 4, they have such a cap on how many Sims can be created. It's quite a small cap, and the ghosts are still counted as Sims. So if I put these ghost gravestones, I didn't want like an actual Sim to be, I can't figure the word, but when they're just like deleted away, their Sim data deleted away, because I've worked out like over 100 Sims are going to be placed in my game save once I've finished it. So I didn't want one of them sort of getting scrapped, like the Sim data getting scrapped of a Sim alive that we actually need. So that's why with the goths and with Olive, I have just used those fake graves. I think it's the best compromise. I am still keeping one grave in there, which will be her husband that she got the last name Spector from, but he's going to be the only gravestone that I'm keeping. And hopefully if any of my Sims get like scrapped, hopefully it's his data that gets scrapped. I just don't want any of the living Sims to be deleted. So now I'm just placing the basement. I'm kind of in my head, like how I said that she's the mortuary, I can't say that word, whatever it is. She's the morgue owner. So that's kind of, I'm pretending that the morgue's underground, like in the basement. So it's just like a normal thing for her to have, you know, the dead bodies. But in The Sims 2, it was hinted that she was a serial killer, and how she had that creepy room in the back corner with the light. I'm also gonna place that, what you will see in the interior. There's a little room that I've kept specifically just for her to sort of torture Sims in. So, you know, it's a good gig. She gets to keep up her morgue job, and she gets enough Sims to you know, so that she can have steady income. It's so annoying whenever I do the gates, for some reason 2 sides disappear, but if I exit out and go back in, then they will reappear again. So you won't have 2 missing like parts of the fence. It will all be there. I don't know why it's playing up, but it always does. And I create this game on my laptop, so it's also like a nice test for me not to go too extreme in my builds, because I want my game, like I said, to be accessible to as many people as possible, and some of us, we don't all have, you know, flashy computers, so I can kind of see, oh, my laptop's heating up a lot, I better pull back, and you know, it's a nicer way so that I can kind of test if this is going to run well enough on all computers. But I do have like a desktop computer, but I just don't enjoy using desktops. I'm kind of lazy. I like just lying in bed and building houses. Like, that's what I do when I build houses. I don't sit up and go on a desk and build them. I lie in bed and build them, so my desktop's kind of annoying, and plus it's old. It's an older desktop. It does have good enough RAM in there, a lot better than my laptop, but it's just old anyway, and it just runs slow. And like I said, I just like to lie in bed and build houses, so it's a lot easier for me on my laptop. But I definitely want to get another laptop, because I kind of use this for my job as well, so I'm kind of worried about how much, like, I've pretty much I've moved on to the D drive, so I'm pretty much using a lot of the space on the laptop. I don't want it to overrun, because it's not like a gaming laptop or anything. So with the house, I tried to keep sort of like a spooky vibe, so I put the power pole, but anyway, it's the end of the video now. I got distracted. I will hopefully see you next time. Please subscribe if you enjoy. Bye.